Ride and Steel is brought to you in part by Iron Tail Saloon, for delicious food, good times, and a great destination for your charity ride. It's Iron Tail Saloon in Acton, Maine. Sinister Customs, from fabrication to paint, Sinister Customs can build your ride unique to your personality. Twisted Iron Customs, hot rods, motorcycles, service and storage. The Twisted Iron team can meet your needs. And Row TV, graphics, logo design, animation, website design, and much more. It's Row TV Digital Creation Studio.
Let's ride! Hundred roaring engines riding steel, hearts gleaming in the sun, we're riding steel. The rubber hits the road, I'm not doing what I want, riding steel. Leather on my back and the wind in my face. I'm one with the highway and with the human race. This iron horse will separate the bull from what is real. It's the nature of the beast, we're riding steel. It's the nature of the beast, we're riding steel. We're riding steel.
Okay, with me I have Lori, Chris, and Jerry Collins, the family that this ride is being organized for. Now in 2008, Chris, you went down on your bike.
Yep.
Can you tell the people what happened to you?
Yeah, I actually ended up in the woods. I was going around a corner. There's a vehicle that ended up coming out, and I avoided it and ended up in the woods. And basically landed me paralyzed from the chest down.
Right. And from what I understand, you're back riding now. You got your own Can-Am.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you're like setting up your own wheelchair on the back of that thing in under 30 seconds or something like that. Is that true?
I need to time that, actually. I did say 30 seconds, and then I started thinking about it. I'm like, I wonder if it's longer. I haven't timed myself.
Yeah.
I'd say a minute. If any less, and I'm doing better.
Right.
So.
Well, that's good. I'm glad that you're able to ride. How you feeling, by the way?
Awesome.
You are?
I am.
So you pretty much adapted to your situation and just making the best of it?
Yeah, I mean, making the best of it is what it is. Adapting comes in, you're never going to get over it. So it's one of those things that it's always in the back of your head, and then just go on every day and live it like you're last.
Well, it looks like you got some very supportive parents. Hi, Jerry. How you doing, bro? Yeah, it's good to see you. All right, and for the people that are just seeing this for the first time and learning about Chris and everything, let's go back a little bit, all right, and let's talk about what it was like when you heard your son went down.
Actually, I was on a boat fishing, and I got a call from the EMTs, and I said Chris was in a bad accident. I said, how bad? He says, well, it's pretty serious. He says, but he's going to be all right. So we rushed to the hospital and found out that Chris was going to be paralyzed from the chest down. At first, it was kind of, maddening, wondering what happened, all this and that next thing. But Chris has been such an inspiration that, he just got up and keeps living. He snowmobiles, he skis, he rides a bike. Last summer he did wheelchair bungee jumping. I
Are you kidding? Really?
Seriously.
It was awesome. It was pretty much the best thing I've ever actually done.
Did they like strap you into that?
Yeah, they strapped me in like anybody else would on the body, and then they put an extra harness around the wheelchair.
Lori, what about you? With that news, you're a mom. And I know dads are sensitive too. We have to try to act tough on the outside, right? And hold everything together, but we feel it. We feel it, definitely.
Pretty much the same. I mean, it's devastating hearing it, but as we've kind of put forth with everything is you deal with what's dealt to you and you move on, and it's not what you can't do. It's what you can do still. And you can still do all the same things. You just have to find a different way to do it. And he's found a different way to do everything at this point. I don't think there's anything he hasn't found a way to do yet.
Right. So now let's bring the conversation around to the ride itself. Now, being the parents of Chris and all, you're the organizers of this event. And so, what was that like? To have to get to a point where you're asking other people for help. You know, that must have been a tough call for you guys, right? And so what was that like, Lori?
Very humbling. We have great support, great friends, great acquaintances. Bentley's is huge, supportive as well. And Dolly and Jerry Court actually started doing the run the first year, and they help organize everything. And we have all pitched in, and all of our friends pitch in. It's become kind of it's more of a gathering of all the friends and everything than it is work. There is a lot of work.
Yeah.
Isn't there, honey? Found that out yesterday. Yeah. But it's all for a good cause. It helps him defray the cost of all of his medical things that aren't paid by any insurance or anything else. Helps to adaptive things for his van, for his wheelchair.
Now, though, okay, you know, back in 2008, Ride and Steel was just starting.
Yes.
And we kind of like connected back in 2009 briefly. You
Yep.
came to the Cabin Fever Reliever, the first one I held here, and we couldn't really make it to the ride. They were lapping over with other ones on it at that time, right? And but now, you know, I had a weekend off, can you believe it? And I could actually pick randomly a ride to go to, and I chose this one because I wanted to catch up with you all. I really did.
Thank
and
you.
yeah, and so things have changed, you know. I mean, you're raising money now, not just for Chris directly, but you're going to a special program called
Help Hope Live.
Help Hope Live.
Yeah, it's a foundation, nonprofit organization, and the money that we raise, we send in to them, and they earmark it for Chris. So when we have bills that he has to pay out of pocket for anything, we can send the bills in, and they'll reimburse him.
Right.
So it's
So that way there the money is held accountable.
Right.
Right? And
Yep.
people who give know that their money is
And-
being put in the right places, and there's
and
no
it's all
question.
tax deductible
Yeah.
to the fullest extent of the law. So
Right.
That's-
So it alleviates all of the, you know, any suspicious, like, misspending kind of stuff that can happen, right,
Right.
guys? And so how did you guys get in contact with Help Hope and Live?
When we were in Atlanta for Chris's rehab, there was a couple there that showed us how they got into it. That's how we were introduced to it, through them, because their son was in the same predicament.
So hey, have you connected with a lot of, you know, other guys that have been in bike accidents or going through a similar condition?
Yeah, actually, I volunteer with New England Rehab down in Portland, and basically I go in and see new patients and help them out, try to get over their like initial shock and all the other stuff that they're going through. I mean, it's not the funnest time going through all that, and it's easier when you have somebody that has been through it to help you along.
To relate and identify with you. And, you know, that's good therapy for you too, right?
It is. It's great therapy because it keeps me looking back at what I went through and how hard it was, and it keeps me moving forward.
Right. And I'm sure that when you have a bad day, you can reflect on the others are going just through the beginning stages of it and how terrible it is for them, right?
Yep. Yeah, I made good friends through it. I ski with a couple of them, play rugby with a couple of them.
So what do you do, strap skis to this?
No, it's a completely different setup. It's actually just one ski. I sit in a bucket, put up my feet up in front of me, and got one regular ski on the bottom, and use the edges of that to make your turns. And you got outriggers that are attached to your arms that have little skis on them, just so you can push yourself around.
You're something else, man. You're starting like you're bringing a whole new thing to Special Olympics here. You know what I'm saying? That's unbelievable. Someday, you know, this could turn into something bigger than what it is. Just a thing to do for joyful purposes. You know, you could start a tournament of some kind, right?
Well, they have the Paralympics, and monoskiing is actually what it's called, and monoskiing is part of the Paralympics. Paralympics is actually anybody that's injured. With
You involved with this stuff?
I'm not yet, but I do have a program that I'm involved with called Maine Adaptive Sports and Recreation, and they have racing teams and everything on the monoski. So,
Incredible. I'm very impressed. How old are you?
27.
So you were only 22 years old when this happened.
Yep.
Wow. So we got a beautiful day. Look
Yes,
at the
it's gonna be
look at the
an
sky.
awesome
Not a
day for
cloud
the
in it.
ride.
Huh?
Awesome day for a ride.
That's right. And so we're going to be right there to film. We're going to be riding right beside you. So make room for us, all right, bud? All right. Excellent. Thank you so much for taking
Thank
a minute
you.
with me. And I'm so happy that I came here today.
Thank
You guys are truly an inspirational family. Unbelievable. You know, I love your attitude and everything. It's, you know, keep moving forward, right?
Yeah, always.
All right. Excellent. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you.
This is Steve Rosha that's with me. He is the road captain, I assume, then, if you're
Yes.
going to be the one telling everybody where we're going.
Yes.
And, you know, first of all, what kind of concerns do you have, Steve, when you're organizing a ride like this? And what do you plan on sharing with the people listening?
Well, basically I do the ride 2 or 3 times. Make sure the road's clean of sand and there's no construction going on. And I continually ride it. I rode it again Thursday night, make sure everything was fine. A lot of the concerns I had Tuesday night has been cleaned up. The bridge is wide open now. It was down to 1 lane. Now it's 2 lanes that we're going to go across. And the people here just, you know, follow the lead and no horsing around, and we'll get a nice, safe ride in.
Excellent. So we have, you know, got a guy here who takes the time to do a pre-ride to make sure road conditions are adequate and enjoyable, right?
Right.
So where are we going?
Well, we're going to be leaving out of here and going up on across Route 111. We're going to end up at Reynolds Motorsports up in Buxton. We're there for about an hour, then we leave out of there and take 117 north and cut across in the Limerick, and then we're back down to Willie's Ale House. We'll be there for about an hour.
Okay.
And then back here to Bentley's, of course. It's 96 miles.
Okay. All right. So that's plenty of rest stops for us guys 50 or older that need to use those restroom facilities, right? And today is such a warm day. It's about 85 to 90 degrees out here right now. And so hydration is important. We need to stop and get those glasses of water pumped into us, right?
Exactly. You know, I've been on rides where people have gone down or pulled over the side because they weren't hydrated enough. So I recommend, I'm a big person on watering yourself and make sure you're hydrated because of the situation. Even though you're riding and it's comfortable, you're still...
Well, do you have a sweeper truck in this one?
Yes, we do.
And are you carrying any water by any chance?
I believe they have some water on board. It's 24 miles from here to Reynolds, so they're going to have plenty of fluids for us there. So I just recommend everybody drink the fluids and make sure you stay hydrated.
All right, but that's a suggestion from Ride and Steel on these hot days, you know, and you got a sweeper truck or somebody wants to help out, but they don't ride. You know, have them do the sweeper truck deal where they carry a cooler full of refreshments and to help people out at these stops.
Exactly.
All right, because some people dehydrate more than others faster.
Exactly.
Well, thank you so much, Steve, for all you know, the
appreciate it.
safety that you're taking under consideration and everything.
9:45 is our meeting.
All right, have a safe ride,
Thank you,
okay?
my friend.
All right, bye. All your Ride and Steel gear is now available through B&B Embroidery and Ink, located on 82 Libby Hill, Oakland, Maine. T-shirts, caps, bandanas, sweatshirts, and more. So if you're looking for quality, reliable service for your next event, contact B&B Embroidery and Ink at 207-465-2846 or visit their website at info@bbembmaine.com. The conversation with Chris, his mom Lori, and Jerry was very enlightening. Paralyzed from the chest down, Chris refuses to quit. Instead, he focuses on challenging himself to surmount obstacles that would stop the average person. He rebuilt his bike and rode it again before getting his Can-Am. He uniskis, snowmobiles, wheelchair races, zip lines, and even bungee jumps. He hunts and engages in paintball wars. He has accomplished much more in his young life than many of us will ever do in a lifetime. It's his way of coping with his disability, always challenging himself. All these accomplishments are without a doubt rewarding, and I'm sure there is more in store for him. But one thing that I personally feel is outstanding above all this is that Chris also reaches out to encourage and support others whose lives have suddenly been altered by a similar physical disability. Hey, I wanted to take a minute here to talk with Chris alone, and you know, it's a beautiful, it's June 1st, it's absolutely beautiful out, it's hot, it's like 85, I think it's going to hit about 95 today. What do you think, Chris?
Oh, this is beautiful.
Right. Well, the reason why I wanted to pull Chris aside for a minute is because of what he's doing to try to help others. You know, he wants to, you know, he's got a message for you guys out there who may be experiencing a similar ordeal that he has gone through and still is going through. So, Chris, if people wanted to learn more or talk to you, how would they do that?
I think email would probably be the best thing. If they want to hit me up at, my email is chris_04_collin@hotmail.com. Hit me up there, and I mean, I'm open for every conversation. It doesn't matter what the conversation's about. However, I can help anybody that's in a situation like mine, or if anybody that's injured in any situation and needs a little uplift or whatever, I'm happy to help out.
Hey, we're here at what town are we in?
Well, we're 4 miles west of Gorham. We don't say Buxton. We say 4 miles west of Gorham.
We're 4 miles west of Gorham, and I got with me.
Heidi Knight from 107.5 Frank FM.
That's right. They're one of our sponsors, and I just wanted to stop by and say hello and take a photo shoot with her. All right?
Yay.
So here we are.
I'm Corey, and this is Tom.
We're doing the ride for Chris Collins with Riding Steel.
And we'll be right back.
I don't think it's anything that anybody actually accepts in the long term. It's something that you learn to deal with and look at life in a different way. I mean, it changed my life all around, and I actually looked at it as living for today instead of living for the future. I was always looking at, oh, what am I going to do next month? And now I look at, what am I doing today? I always have goals, and that's the thing that keeps me going. If you don't have a goal, then what are you going for? A lot of people don't understand the whole aspect of life and how beautiful it is, and actually take time to stop and look at it in the ways that you would if you were dying or in a traumatic state, you know? So that's what I went through, and I just like to tell people about it and say, hey, you know what? You may be bitching that it might be cold out or something like that, but guess what? It's gonna get warmer, and there's always better things to come.
Who's that big, tall, handsome man over there?
What you look at, girl?
He looks just like you.
Don't treat me that way.
I think you're the man. I think you're the man.
Some folks are built like this, some folks are built like that. Now the way I'm built, don't you call me fat. I was
Nina, Nina knew.
After a very scenic and beautiful day of riding, the Ride and Steel production crew broke off from the main group so we could get ahead of them and await their arrival back at Bentley's. This gave me an opportunity to talk with them a bit and learn why they volunteer to help me each weekend.
I got David Lindell here with me, who is part of Patriot Riders Chapter 2, and he's also a big supporter of Ride and Steel. And so I want to take a moment to introduce you to some of the people that come, on these rides with us on a regular basis.
I actually went through some health issues. Finally decided that life's more important to have fun than it is to work all the time. Got back into motorcycling, saw your website. My first ride was actually Blessing of the Bikes out of Gardner. And from then on, I just met a great bunch of people, support everything that they do, and just made a lot of friends. Finally enjoying life and having a bunch of friends doing motorcycles is a great thing.
Well, one thing's for sure, you have no shortage of friends in this business, do we?
No,
I mean,
that's so true.
Every weekend we go out somewhere and we meet new people, and we have a pretty consistent group of people that we get together with on a regular basis every weekend. Almost like it helps the work week to go by a lot better, doesn't it?
I tell you, it's a lot easier waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning knowing that you're going on a ride instead of going to work. You don't hit the snooze button nearly as much.
Right. And now you've become part of a new organization called the Patriot Riders out of Brunswick and Bath area. And why did you choose to do that?
A very big supporter of our veterans and what they stand for. First responders, they all do a great job. They're all underappreciated, overworked, and underpaid. So we want to just give them a hand. Anytime anybody needs help, we're out there to help those veterans who are in need of help.
Right. And for those of you folks who are watching this that may be from the Bath Brunswick area, whether you're watching it on Time Warner or on Bath Community Television, if you are a supporter of our veterans and you find that the Patriot Riders organization is something you would like to be part of, David, I'm sure, could help you out with that. How would they get a hold of you guys?
We're Patriot Riders, main Chapter 2. You can check us out on Facebook.
Richard, you've been with me for what, 3 years now?
3 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Why?
Just started riding with you guys to begin with, first couple rides, and enjoy what you do. Know what you're trying to do as far as
what am I trying to do?
Trying to represent, take bikers, the old adage about what bikers and the way people feel about bikers, or motorcyclists, let's put it that way, and change that perception of people. That, we're out here, especially our crew are all volunteers, come out on the weekends, we, spend our own money, spend our own time. We all have families, the economy has hit us just like it has anybody else. But we still make time to come out and do these things, and it's a worthy cause. We're always out doing something. A couple weeks ago, in fact, there was 5 rides and we had 5 crews out. Okay,
That's right.
It's. I think you've shown that there are caring people out here in the biker community. They're always. Nobody says no. I don't think I've ever run into anybody that was asked about something to contribute something, either work or money or whatever it was, and nobody says no. They try in every way that they can help, and your organization, has promoted that, has brought that to the surface, and hopefully it'll take us even further. So.
Right. Right. A lot of people ask me, what does it take to become part of the Ride and Steel crew? And my answer to that is show up. We plug all the time where we're going to be gathering at for any given ride that we go on a Saturday or a Sunday, sometimes Wednesday night. Yeah. It depends, if the need is there, we will try to make it. And there are about 30 people that are fairly consistent with helping me out. Like you said, we were out in 5 different directions last week, and that's amazing, to be able to have that kind of dedication and loyalty to the motorcycle community. It's not about Ride and Steel. It's about the dedication to you folks out there that ride and that help support charity and causes that many people may not even know about until we are using and taking advantage of this opportunity to broadcast this show to help people and to help motorcyclists.
Yeah, it's not only motorcyclists. I mean, we help everyone. I mean, we ride for anyone. It doesn't make any difference. If it's a legitimate charity, a legitimate cause, just a personal cause, we ride for that. It's just not for the motorcyclists. So even if you don't ride, if you're not a motorcyclist, still, if you post on our calendar some type of charity ride that you want to have done, or sometimes a charity event, we'll try to do what we can to cover it.
So as you can see, folks, I am surrounded by some really great people. And there's one guy behind the camera over there that I want to come talk to me. Now I got a guy who's been like almost every single ride that I've been on for the past 3 years. You've been coming with me on almost every ride, every Saturday and Sunday, especially last year.
There's a story that needs to be told.
Right.
Everybody needs to tell it. Need to hear it. The one that I always remember was the firefighter up in Bridgeton who was astonished that so many people came to support him when he had never seen him. And my comment to him was, you go into burning buildings and take strangers out and you never pay attention to it, so why should it surprise you that people come out to support you?
But I just wanted to express my gratitude for having someone like you on the team. You're awesome, and so aren't the other guys that we talked to. And there are more folks, and I will introduce you to more of the Ride and Steel crew as more of these shows are being put together. Steve, great ride today.
Thank you, man. I really appreciate that. I get nervous when we start riding with that many bikes, and just get everybody back here safe and sound makes me happy.
You got to count.
Over 140. Yeah, and I kept looking in my mirrors leading the pack, and I'm just, wow, it's just amazing. Right. It's a great feeling seeing that many bikes. And
how do you think Chris feels?
He's ecstatic. He's ecstatic. Everybody gave a donation and helped out with the stops we made. Chris, I know, was ecstatic. Right. It's a hot day, and everybody did well.
And what an amazing young man that guy is, huh? I mean, he took an injury, and he is paralyzed from the chest down, and he gets his own wheelchair loaded up. He knows how to get on that Can-Am and run it like a pro. And he even rebuilt his bike that got in an accident.
He's an inspiration to everybody. You got a handicap and whatnot, you got to see what this guy has done. He's just an inspiration. I'm healthy, but that guy just inspires me when I see him, and I love doing this ride.
Well, we're here, Laurie. It's we've returned back to Bentley's after a couple of stops. Very warm day today. Absolutely beautiful. How did you enjoy your ride?
Awesome. It was a great ride. Approximately 140 bikes. Everyone had a wonderful time. It was a wonderful hot day, but great turnout. We ran out of T-shirts.
Have you adjusted to basically accepting this situation and focus on the here and now? Or do you ever go through periods of time where you reflect on what it was like?
Definitely.
When he was normal?
Yeah, definitely. Have to say, you see people walking around and you kind of go, he used to be able to do that. Yeah. But on the other hand, he's still with us. So we're very fortunate. We're very blessed. He, like I said, he makes it so easy on everyone. He didn't change at all. I wouldn't expect that he would, but some people do. And he's just kept the same positive attitude, great outlook, and he's just raring to go, always willing to try something and do something, and wants to find a way to do it.
Right. Thank you so much for, being so open and inviting to us. Folks, I hope you enjoyed today's program and that you'll join us each week on Ride and Steel. For those of you who want to participate in charity rides, please go to rideandsteel.com. Check out my calendar there. If you're a ride organizer, take the time to register as a member. Even if you're not an organizer, take the time to register as a member, because we send out email blasts each week to help rally support for you and bring about awareness of your cause of your choice. So please join us next week on Ride and Steel.
I'm Lori Collin from the Chris Collin Ride, and I want to thank you for watching Riding Steel.
Ride and Steel is brought to you in part by Iron Tail Saloon, for delicious food, good times, and a great destination for your charity ride. It's Iron Tail Saloon in Acton, Maine. Sinister Customs, from fabrication to paint, Sinister Customs can build your ride unique to your personality. Twisted Iron Customs, hot rods, motorcycles, service and storage. The Twisted Iron team can meet your needs. And Row TV, graphics, logo design, animation, website design, and much more. It's Row TV Digital Creation Studio.